Can you pay attention and?
Yes.
Okay.
I think I'm good with the tire. Maybe.
I'll just do.
Okay. Good.
There's things I always say that don't go on it. Like I always get under and do the dryer and the things that we used to have to do. But I'll try not to do that.
What about the pitman and stuff like that?
I'll do everything.
Yeah.
You're supposed to do. Okay, as I'm walking up to my bus, I'm going to make sure it's not leaning one way or the other, that it doesn't have any new damage or like a big puddle or something under it.
Yeah.
As I come up to it. And then I always start at the engine. So let's go back there.
You always start at the engine?
Always. When I come in, I put my stuff that I'm carrying. Then I get my flashlight, come back, open it up. Always look at my fan blades. Make sure they're kind of hard to turn because it is belt driven. You want to tell her that. Some are gear driven, some are belt.
This is the belt, right?
So it always has this apparatus, this extra piece of belt. So then you have your serpentine belt also on there. No more than 1/2 to 3/4 inch on that. And then this is your shroud. We check for that. This is your power steering, your coolant. You'll be able to shine your flashlight. In fact, you can almost see it right there, but at night you'll shine your flashlight under it and stuff. And then we've already checked our fan and our shroud. Here's your air compressor. We check all our wires and hoses. Make sure we don't see any leaks. We're checking our frame as we go along to make sure there's no cracks. Here's our transmission fluid. We look along as we're going. We've checked our belt. Here's our alternator and our water pump. Here's our oil. When you check it, if you needed to add it, it would go in here. We look at all our hoses. This is like a...
This is for the water?
boot. No, if you have oil, need to add it, it would go in here.
Okay.
So you don't come and start it to take off. And then we're still looking at our frame and hoses and wiring as we go up. Make sure everything looks normal, still no leaks or anything. We look at our turbo that's back there. Of course, we don't really need to tell her that. I always check everything, make sure everything looks normal. Our fuse box looks okay, no fingerprints, looks like no one's messed with it. Wires look good.
You don't have to mention the filter?
This is your air filter, but you don't need to bother with it. Your mechanics,
Okay.
just make sure it's still all hooked up and nobody's messed with it. I always hit on that to make sure it will move, but you can tell it's sturdy. Come over here and open it up. We want to check our mufflers and our exhaust. We get down and make sure that nothing has been dragged on the ground. There's no damage to it. That all our wires and our hookups and stuff that hold it are solid. Check them all. Make sure everything looks normal, everything's hooked up. We can also see a lot of our frame. We can see into the turbo and all this stuff. This is your turbo right here. Remember, if you've been climbing hills really hard or running it on the freeway, make sure to run it at least 3 minutes so it can cool when you get back. This is your little device to tell about your filter, but the mechanics always check on that. But you can look in and see. I'll make sure everything looks normal. Nothing's, you can kind of tell everything will look the same every day. And look at it really close. Checked it all. Caught everything.
That's it.
So we did good on the engine, so then I come back up. I always got my flashlight. I already have my bar. I always start right here. I do. I've got my reflector, the 2 lights for my students, or your stairwell lights. I check those. I always start here at the tire. I got my hub. Make sure it's not leaking. I have my bolts, make sure they're all in there. Have my lug nuts, they're all there and present. I don't have no weepage of rust or shiny spots, which would show that they were loose. I got my rim Looks good, no cracks or welds. I can see my disc brakes in there. I have my disc and my rotor, which is part of my brakes. I have a good bead. I have my tire wall. No bulges, no things sticking out of it. It looks good. I have my valve stem. It has a cap. I can't have retreads on the front, recaps. I have 4/32 on the front. I make sure it has even wear on the top. And then, of course, we have our suspension on the front along with our brakes. I mentioned our disc brakes and our rotor. We also have our canisters with our air line and hoses. We don't have slack adjusters on these because we do have our disc and rotor and stuff. We have suspension, we have shackles, springs, mounts, springs.
Do you have to point them out?
Yeah, kinda. You have your springs right there. There's one of your hoses to your canister. There's one of your leaf springs right there. And the mount, if you can see really good, is right here. Your spring mount is right there that's hooked onto the spring with all the big screws. Your U-bolt, spring shackle shocks, U-bolts. Your U-bolt is just right down there, just a little bit away from it to hold your springs. Shackles, we don't have shackles on one of these because it is not a front engine bus and don't have a lot of springs, so you won't have a shackle on these kind of bus, but they are on your front engine bus. Your airbag is right down in here on the side because we do have air ride. So we did spring shackles, shocks, mounts, U-bolts, and our airbag. So we got all our brakes in our suspension. We open this, make sure our cap's there and it's tight. As we go down, we're looking at all the frame, all our windows, damage, make sure everything looks good. Underneath, we're still checking the frame. Our gas tanks, all the wires that run underneath. When I get down here at the back, we have our DEF. I'll open it and look in there and make sure everything looks good. We never feel it. The mechanics will do that on service. I get down, I get down here and look underneath. I can see my 2 canisters of my brakes with all the hoses that run back and forth. That's my DEF container right there. You can see part of your springs. I'm trying to look for the airbags. Can't see any airbags from this direction. And we did name all our brakes and our suspension. We can see some through here and stuff as we kind of look. Our back tires are the same as the front pretty much. This is our axle seal. Want to make sure all our baby lug nuts are there and tight. Our other lug nuts are all there and tight. No weepage of rust or shiny spots. Our rim looks good. No welding or cracks. We have 2 stems. There's one. There's one. They always put them where you can see both of them. The bead looks good. The wall of the tire looks good. No bulging, no anything sticking out or torn or rubbed too hard on curbs. It's 2/32 back here on your tread. We can have recaps on the back. It looks like even wear. These look like great tires. There's your shock. There's your airbag right there. Your drive line is right through there. Right down through there. I can't see. Oh, the hanger is right behind the shock. I was going to say I can't see the hanger. It's got its hanger. You always hit your mud flaps. You continue looking at your windows and everything for damage. Everything looks good. We set our engine. Don't let it drop. We look at our back. We have our clip lights, our reds and yellows 8 ways. look at our window. Everything looks good, not cracked. We have our reverse lights, our brake lights, our hazards and turn signals. We have our little light over our license plate and our license plate. We have both of our reflectors on there. Our reds are usually out. We want to make sure if they have lights on them that they're all flashing, that all the lights work, or it would be out of service.
So this one is missing, the stop sign or the stop riding?
Pardon?
Or it's in the back, right? It's in
Yeah,
the back.
when it opens up.
Okay.
Some of them have blinking
Both
lights here. This one is just, well, it's telling me
on the
no.
other side, yeah.
It says stop, and it probably has lights on the stop. So you want to make sure they're lit up and sticking out. We do the same thing on the tires and suspension. I'd look again from this way to that way underneath. Look at my frame. All my, same parts as we did on the other side. Usually once you've said those on the other side for your third party, you'll be okay. But you're going to be doing your inspection every day, so you would definitely look underneath. If you're on a front engine, your drive line runs all the way through. So you would definitely check both ways.
Yeah.
You always open this door from the inside and the outside. Oh, wow. This is one reason why. You want to make sure that it opens good from the inside and the out. Always have the handle clear up when you shut it. Oh, wow.
Should I do it?
That's one reason. You open them from both ways. That's pretty hard. I'd put some silicone or something on that. There's our reflector. We're still checking the outside of the bus with our windows, everything. We do our tire and all our brakes and suspension. Here's our steering. This is awesome. Has a 7% better radius than the others. There's our gearbox, our pitman arm, our drag link goes back. Awesome. Back to the knuckles and the tie rod ends that are back there. That's why it has a 7% tighter radius. The stop sign does have the stop. Would come out and all that would be lit up. Then you grab your mirrors as you go around, make sure they're tight. You can see your fluid for your windows right there. Do the same on the front with your clip light, your school bus sign, your 8-ways or your yellows and reds. You check the windshield. Make sure your wipers have snap. Make sure your wipers are soft so that they will work good. Make sure your 4-ways and turn signals up here, and your headlights, high beam, low beam, license plate. Make sure it all looks good. Make sure you check the mirrors so that they're tight as you go around. And I make sure my door is good and solid, that I have tight handrails, and that the stairwell looks good, nothing to trip anybody or bad stairs. I come up here, fall down in the seat. You start over here. You always do your seat belt first. Have my seat belt cutter, and my paperwork. That's some of the things that everybody forgets first. The paperwork's always usually here, but on these buses there's no place. Then as you go up and around, you tell them all what's here, all across the front. One thing that they mostly forget is as you come across from the big dial to this dial, remember you have your light indicators, like on these sides right here. Those are called light indicators, and you want to make sure that they work and stuff. That's one thing that you need to say. You want to make sure your mileage, if you're taking spare buses all the time, that you're not over service. If you are a little bit over, you can just call them and tell them. We have automatic select adjusters that probably let you take it, but then bring it up on top maybe and they'll service it. You want to say everything that you see to them. All this. Your foot brake and hand brake. You put your foot on the brake for a safe start. They forget that one. Remember your steering play, your horn. What's some other things? All these.
The mirrors?
Pardon?
The mirrors, maybe?
Yep, your student mirror. your radio, your fans, child check, everything up here, down here, and even down in here, you know, that you use, like your high idle and, you know, everything up here. You got to remember your emergency equipment, your first aid kit, cleanup kit, your triangles, and your fire extinguisher. That's part of your front part. As a, you know, this is considered one part is your driving compartment, and those are part of it. Every bus you should know where they are at, because they're different in every bus. So you should know where they're at. And if you don't have one of them in a bus, it's out of service. It's pretty much that they're always in there. But
Okay.
then in the back, all you have left
Oh, I
is,
can't close it anymore.
oh, you just, are you ready?
Yeah.
You just hit that
Oh,
like
okay.
that. And your accident information should be there. And then in the back, all you do is just check your floor for floor hazards. Make sure things aren't on the floor that they can trip. Check your bottom seats to make sure they're hooked. Now I always hit my back seats. I look for any kind of damage on the seats. If it was my bus, I'd keep track of that. I check the floor as I go, make sure nothing's left from the other kids, make sure there's no sleeping children. You open this again from the outside to the inside so that you open it from both sides. This is your emergency seat. In the morning, you should make sure that you work in the morning a little bit because of the cold, but push it down and it should come right back up like that. At first it didn't, but I worked it a little bit. But if it does stay down, it doesn't come up, you're out of service. It needs a new little thing. Check all your windows. I haven't got the key on, but they should all buzz. And stuff all your 4 windows. Wow. That should be
Only the
going
emergency
off.
windows, yeah?
That should go off. It's turned to buzz. Check your 2 hatches, your back door. All your...
You try only the emergency windows.